Over the past few months, many people have been worried about the future of journalism. With the new administration south of the border and the rise of alternative facts, many of us are worried that journalism and the future will take a serious toll over the next few years. But today, I'm hoping to provide a more optimistic perspective. As we have seen over the past few weeks, I don't think anything will be able to stop us from revealing the truth and spreading it. We take it to the streets, to social media, and to traditional news outlets. It's not about press badges or having a printed newspaper anymore. It's about the narrative and getting your story out there. It's about having discussions and debates across borders so that we can reveal the truth and do something about it. My name is Tiffany Lee, and I am the co-founder and editorial director of an online platform called United Youth Journalists. We are a network of 70 youth from 30 countries around the world who write about issues concerning our respective countries, and we shed light on the truth. We share our opinions and our perspectives as youth who will soon be inheriting this world. Our story begins 2 years ago, when I was in high school, and myself and a group of students from around the world came together to have some pretty incredible conversations about global issues through an online course on sustainability. Hailing from Italy, Venezuela, Syria, Canada, and beyond, my new friends and I created connections with each other and began learning from each other and about the situations in our countries. This is where the idea of United Youth Journalists emerged. We had learned so much from each other. Why not share this to other youth around the world? From this, we set out to create a website to publish articles about what was going on in our countries and our opinions on them. This simple idea became United Youth Journalists, or UYJ as we like to call it. To be honest, when my friends first came up with the idea, I was pretty hesitant. It seemed like a good idea, but when they started talking about becoming youth journalists, I thought, whoa, this is too much for me. I didn't know anything about journalism, and I didn't trust myself to represent Canada and its issues and share my own opinions on a global stage. However, because I was one of the few native English speakers, I offered to be an editor so I could look over the articles, help my friends improve their English, and that way I could still be involved. The problem was that none of us had experience in running initiatives, in journalism, much less mobilizing a large group of people through social media. After scrambling for a week, I couldn't take it anymore. As I had gotten more involved, I had realized the endless amount of potential that this simple idea had. Everyone was so excited to be on board. And with such a large group of youth who are passionate and engaged, who knows what we can accomplish? So I decided that I couldn't let this project fall through, and I stepped up to help organize everything. And this is what has led me to become the organization's co-founder. Since then, United Youth Journalists has grown immensely over the past 2 years. We have 70 journalists today, and we have had representation from 50 different countries. What is most remarkable about this is that we had no promotional strategy or marketing campaign. We operate on a $0 budget, and yet we have been able to become successful. And I could not have done any of this by myself, and I didn't do it by myself. United Youth Journalists was only able to grow because we had a team of young people, all in high school and university, who were passionate about making their voices heard. Passionate young people know other passionate young people. And that is how our network has been able to grow as quickly and immensely as it did. So if there's anything that you take away from my talk today, it is this message. Youth are powerful. Youth are empowered. And youth are ready to make a change together. United Youth Journalists has really served as my inspiration over the past 2 years. It's been my haven, my education, sometimes the origin of my stress, but my passion and my love nonetheless. The reason why I stepped up in those early weeks was because I saw an opportunity to make change in my global community. I believe that education is the basis for action. If we are aware, we have the tools to make informed decisions about what we want our world to look like. But if we're not aware, we can't make those informed decisions. This is especially important for any young generation because decisions are constantly being made that will impact the world we inherit, the world that our children will inherit, and the world that our grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and so on will inherit. There have been a lot of scary changes made recently across the border, and I believe it fundamentally boils down to a gross misunderstanding of peoples around the world. My hope is that the work of United Youth Journalists serves to aid a greater understanding across borders. By sharing our stories, our struggles, and our hopes, we can foster relationships and connections that will help us create a stronger global community that is collaborative, cooperative, and sustainable. The UN Sustainable Development Goals are really important to us because it sets out a framework that not only states can strive towards, but organizations and individuals in society, in civil society, just like us. My favorite goal is one that has been brought up many times this evening, and that is Goal 17, Revitalizing Global Partnership for Sustainable Development. I believe it best represents the position that UIJ is in because this goal states that achieving the 2030 Agenda requires a revitalized and enhanced global partnership that brings together governments, civil society, the private sector, the UN, and other actors. Together, we need to mobilize all of our resources in order to make a change. However, this change is not possible without ensuring the awareness of the agenda and the issues it hopes to address. And that is exactly what we're hoping to do at United Youth Journalists. The world is changing, and it's changing as quickly as the speed of a signature. My hope is that we will continue to keep each other accountable, that we will not be afraid to take action, and that we will raise our voices together. Thank you.